morning, students. In this video, let me explain about three topics today. The first one is Vogelbach theory. Second one is Gilligan's theory. Third one is consensus versus controversy. Vogelbach theory. Lawrence Vogelbach has been a professor at Harvard University in the year 1970. He was very famous for the work on developmental psychology. He developed a theory, or he proposed a theory on moral development, which is popularly known as Vogelbach theory. But this theory, what he has developed, basically depends upon the thinking level of two people. One is Swiss psychologist and another one is American philosopher. These two men, they emphasize that human beings develop ideas, human beings think in a philosophical manner and a psychological manner, particularly in a progressive fashion. They think philosophically and psychologically in a progressive fashion. Lawrence Vogelbach theory. So this theory proposes that people generally develop idea or go for moral reasoning based upon their ethical behavior. He postulated this theory based upon the thinking of younger children throughout their growing period as adult. So his total theory based upon the thinking of the people from children to adult. He conveyed that younger children make judgment based upon the consequence occur, while older people make judgment based upon their intuition. Intuition is nothing but an internal feeling developed in a human being. So generally, he says that children make judgment based upon the actions or based upon the situation they come across in life. But old people, they take judgment based upon their internal feeling felt by them. He also believed that there are 6 stages of moral development, which can be further classified into 3 levels. Lawrence Vogelbach theory, 3 levels of moral development is shown here. First one is pre-conventional level. Second one is conventional level. Third one is post-conventional level. So these 3 levels, they start from the younger period to older period of a person. Figure 2 shows levels of moral development in detail. Pre-conventional level. So in pre-conventional level, what are the levels of thinking for a particular person during his younger period? Avoiding punishment is the first one. Second one is developing self-interest. Conventional level, then the next level of development. Getting people to like them, maintain functioning in the society. The third level is called post-conventional level, stage 5 and 6. Reject rigidity of the law and the sense of justice. So these are the 3 levels of moral development, covering 6 stages of development. The first one is pre-conventional level. The first level of moral thinking generally found among the people at the elementary school level. So what does the thinker do at this stage? So they will tend to think and behave based upon the direct consequences that might occur in their life. So whatever consequences they come across in their life, or whatever actions they come across in their life, based upon that only they will think and behave. Such a thinking level is called pre-conventional level, which can be divided into 2 substages. First one, to avoid punishment. Second one, developing self-interest. So avoid punishment. Judgment will be made based upon the socially acceptable norms set by the higher official. Maybe the higher official may be the teacher or a parent in their life. Developing self-interest, making decision based upon the rewards they come across or the rewards they exchange with another person. Second level is called conventional level. So in this conventional level, where moral thinking will be found at the primary and the high school level. How do they think at this conventional level? They tend to think and behave based upon the thought in order to please others. They would like to please others. Based upon this concept only, their level of thinking will be there, which can be decomposed into two substages: getting people to like them. Second one, maintain functioning in the society. So here the word here the word protagonist. Protagonist means the principal character in a drama or in a cinema. We call it as, for example, the example for protagonist is nothing but a hero of a cinema film. So how do they behave, getting the people to like them? So they behave based upon the moral ground, and they decide with an impression to please the other people. That is called getting people to like them. Maintain functioning in the society. So based upon the moral ground, so they will impress the society. They will consider the job done. The job done will be given the highest priority, thereby maintaining the social order. That means maintain functioning in the society. So this level of thinking is mainly concentrating on the idea to please others. The third level is called post-convention level. The post-convention level is totally connected after the high school level. So what does the thinker do in this level? The thinker will tend to think and behave based upon the sense of justice. Sense of justice means that whatever the feeling of justice information they come across, based upon that only they will think and behave in their life. This level is called post-convention level. During this level of thinking, they will reject rigidity of the law. They will take a decision based upon the moral ground only. Sense of justice only they will give importance during this post-convention level. The second theory is called Gilligan's theory. This Gilligan's theory is an advancement over Gogelberg theory, but the Gogelberg theory was mainly concentrating on moral thinking of privileged white men and boys. But this theory was popularized. This Gilligan's theory was popularized by considering both male and female thinking capability into an account. So who is Gilligan? Gilligan is a psychologist who pursued a doctoral degree in social psychology from Harvard University under the guidance of Lawrence Gogelberg. Later on, Gilligan became independent and criticized some of the theories developed by Lawrence Gogelberg. So Gilligan's theory basically dependent upon Gogelberg theory, but Gilligan theory mainly based upon the male thinking process. So according to Gilligan, Gogelberg theory mainly concentrated on privileged men and boys, but Gogelberg did not take women into consideration as far as his theory is concerned. So she proposed a theory, Gilligan proposed a theory which has same three stages of Gogelberg, but with the different stages of moral development. Again, three levels of moral development under Gilligan theory based upon Lawrence Gogelberg theory, but she has taken the consideration of women in his theory. The first level is called pre-convention level. Pre-convention level means in this level of thinking, a person will be caring for himself or herself for the purpose of survival or for the purpose of survival in this world. This is the transition phase of thinking. The second level of thinking is called conventional level of thinking. Here the person feels responsible and also shows care towards other people. That means in the first level, caring for himself or herself is present there, but in the conventional level, they care for other people. That means they feel more responsible when compared to the pre-conventional level. In the post-conventional level, actually they should care for self as well as other people is accepted, but a section of people never reach this level at all. That means they care for themselves only. They do not care for other people and all. Such a level is called post-conventional level. And the post-conventional level of Gogelberg is not attained by women. This is what mentioned by Lawrence Gogelberg in his theory. levels of thinking as far as Gilligan theory is concerned, especially with the post-conventional level of moral thinking. This post-conventional level of moral thinking is based upon two types of thinking. One is called care-based morality. Second one is called justice-based morality. This care-based morality generally found in women, justice-based morality found in men. Let us discuss one by one care-based morality which exists among women. In this level of thinking, more importance will be given to interconnected relationship in the society. They focus on avoidance of violence. More common in the girls. This theory or this idea exists more common in the girl because of their connection to their mother, and they are less inclined to worry about the issues of fairness rather than they remain connected to their mothers. Justice-based morality, which exists among the men in the society. Men think the world as being composed of autonomous individuals who interact with one another. They avoid inequality. This is found to be more common among the boys because they need to differentiate between themselves and their mother. So they mainly concern with the concept of inequality rather than getting separated from their mother. Example for Gilligan's theory. So there are two animals shown in the diagram. One is called a group of moles. Another one is called a group of porcupine. A group of moles, they try to give shelter for a group of porcupine, but they are continuously stabbed by the porcupine's quill. Now, what should they do? That is the idea behind this Gilligan theory. The solution for the example is given in three levels. One is called pre-conventional level, second is conventional level, third one is post-conventional level. In order to avoid a clash between these two types of animals, during the pre-conventional level, to think for the good of oneself, because generally during pre-conventional level, people think about themselves only. So either the moles or the porcupine only can live there. During the conventional level, the transition goes from self to sacrifice of other. In this level of thinking, either the mole or porcupine has to sacrifice for others, has to sacrifice for the other animal. In the post-conventional level, good of both the parties have to be considered. So both the animals should come to an agreement that they can have separate places in the same burrow, but will not cause any trouble to each other. So this is a solution for the given example in terms of pre-conventional level, conventional level, and the post-conventional level. The third topic is concerners and controversy. So this topic deals with the two important factors, concerners and controversy. What is the meaning for concerners and controversy, and how do they differ from each other? Concerners means agreement, controversy means disagreement. That means concerners and controversy are opposite to each other. While considering the moral autonomy, both concerners and controversies are playing vital role in the society. Now the question is, what is moral autonomy? Moral autonomy means people, they act independently without any influence or distortion from others is called moral autonomy. The ideas they develop in their mind to act independently without any distortion or influence from others is called moral autonomy. So both the factor, concerners and the controversy, they play an important role as far as moral autonomy is concerned. Concerners versus controversy. What is meant by concerners? Concerners is a state where people come to an agreement. They come to an agreement with a particular judgment. They get being convinced with a verdict based upon the moral reason and all. So all of them will come to a conclusion. All of them will accept the verdict, which is called judgment. There will be no dissatisfaction among the people and all. This is called agreement or concerners. Second one is called controversy. Controversy means a judgment will be given, a verdict will be available, but people may not get satisfied by the verdict. They feel that The verdict was taken based upon the partial interest. In such a case, the state is called controversy. The goal of engineering ethics. The goal of engineering ethics mainly concentrate on applying moral principle among the engineer. Because an engineer working in an organization, he has to apply the moral principle, he has to apply his moral thought while working in an organization, as well as he has to promote tolerances while applying the moral autonomy in day-to-day life. This is the important goal of engineering ethics. But both the goal of engineering ethics and the goal of engineering courses, they have some similarity, and they must be extended with the help of exercising authority. Now, the difference between autonomy and authority. Autonomy means complete freedom. Authority means giving power to do a particular activity. So there will be a conflict between autonomy and authority whenever authority is misused in that particular place. For example, in smaller classes, students may have the authority to express their own view because the number of students will be very less in the class. They have time to express their own expression or own views or opinion. Now, when the professor does not allow them to express their opinion or view, then the authority is misused in that particular place. This will create a conflict or moral problem between the student and the faculty. So in this video lecture, we have discussed three topics. One is Lawrence-Gogelberg theory. Second one is Gilligan's theory. Third one is concerners versus controversy. So these are the three topics we have discussed in this video lecture. Thank you.